and almost impossible to tear them apart. Let the festivities begin. You are one of a global audience tonight of around 400 million people who are tuned in for this game. The greatest game on earth, they call it.
We've done with all the talking, the build-up to the game now, Rob. It's all about the football. I have to say, the two coaches look remarkably composed, Guardiola and Jose Mourinho. They know it's all about the football. Guardiola's kept it low-key. But tonight he's going to let his team, hopefully, he let his team do the talking on the pitch. For Real Madrid, Roberts must have been tempting for Jose Mourinho to bring in an extra midfield player, Javára. But he's stuck with the pattern of play that his team have done so well with this season so far. It's attacking, it's bold, it's very unlike Jose Mourinho, but it will make for an open game.
Well, it's the third year in a row that Real Madrid have gone into the game ahead of Barcelona in the Liga. As Veer's on a run, there's a stretch for Pepe. Iniesta, there'll be wave after wave of Barcelona attack tonight. It's a similar night to last year. They played this game on exactly the same date. And of course, it was an Ibrahimovic goal that separated the two sides. There is Iniesta, the man who scored the goal in the World Cup final. Try not to hype it up too much, but every one of those players out there has accomplished great things in their career. Piqué to Iniesta. Villa making a move. Pepe stretches again. He's going to have his hands full tonight.
It certainly is. It's going to be interesting, fascinating for me, Rob. Real Madrid try and win the ball back. Will it be high up the pitch? Will they drop deep? Get numbers back behind the ball, allow Barcelona possession? For me, I think they have to try and contend with Busquets. It's going to be interesting if Benzema drops in, or Mesut Ozil, and perhaps even Ronaldo.
First foul of the evening has the Barcelona fans in front of us up off their seats. The referee's done well, though. He's given an advantage to Barcelona, trying to keep things moving. Little allow from Pedro, away by Marcelo. Scrappy defending from Real Madrid. Cool-headed Iturralde Gonzalez gives the free kick to the men from Madrid.
And you see the first thing, I'm sure many little 1-2 plays, passage of plays by Barcelona.
As one would expect, there's a history of bad-temperedness in this game. And 2 players sent off in this fixture last season. Cristiano Ronaldo's got the ball. Cue the boos. Well handled by Valdez in very tricky, slippery conditions.
And we just had a bit of rain before the game, didn't we? It's continued and we'll make for a slick surface. Will suit the passing game of both teams. Valdez picked up a knock there.
Well, it's quite concerning for Valdez. He's gone down and seems to be in some considerable pain. He seems to have sprung his shoulder. And now he's the last man they want to lose.
We certainly do have an experienced goalkeeper on the bench in Pinto, but hasn't played much football in the last 3 or 4 seasons, I guess. Certainly wouldn't have played in a game of this magnitude.
Oh, it was an absolute freak injury. It just appeared to collide with Piqué as he went down.
Yeah, Piqué, Ronaldo gets the cross in at the near post and he clashes into the shins of Gerard Piqué. I don't think that's going to be too bad for Victor Valdez. Sure, it's going to take a lot more than that for him to come off the field of play in the first 4 minutes.
Well, he's one of the veterans of this game. It's his 15th Gran Clasico. Victor Valdez has only ever had 5 clean sheets in the game. That's Pinto, who is an experienced goalkeeper, but this would be the biggest game of his career if he were to come on. I'm sure that, as you say, Valdez will tough it out, though. Here's Xavi. Miscontrol from Alves. Benzema gets into the thrust of things. An unexpected call for the Frenchman tonight. Pedro. It is out to Marcelo, who tries to play his way out of defence and bumps into his fellow countryman, Dani Alves. Lionel Messi still awaiting his first touch of the ball with 5 minutes gone. That looked like a corner. Assistant didn't give it. Messi picks up and goes on his first mazy dribble of the evening.
It certainly did look like it was a near corner, Rob, but Messi didn't give it up, did he? And then the ball appeared to be glued to his foot. Di Maria clearly takes the ball out of play. Tenacious as ever, Messi wins it back. The ball's glued to his foot. Carvalho comes to the rescue of Real Madrid in the end.
Every Real Madrid player is called onto defensive duty. Xavi straight across the six, clever free kick. It was a missed swipe from Alves. Now Messi flicks it in! Oh, wonderful attempt. Pure genius. He's in the mood.
It took him 2 or 3 minutes, didn't it, to get in the game, but he certainly has now.
Alves with the cross. It's all Barcelona in the opening stage of this game. They've got another corner. Well, there's no roof on this stadium. If there was, the fans would be raising it. 97,000, screaming and shouting. If you were lucky enough to buy a ticket today on the street, it would have cost you €500 a pop. Benzema's header out. Abidal to Alves. Fancies a shot from distance, and he had to see his concern.
Good early pressure from Barcelona, Rob, to get into their passing game. And you see Messi curling it in off the far post almost. It's exactly what he's trying to do. Beat Casillas, chip Casillas. Casillas has got no chance. Xabi Alonso is there on hand as well. But an early glimpse of Messi there. But he worked all that attack himself. He won the corner, didn't he? And from the initial corner, shot from Alves was half a chance as well. And Messi nearly opened the scoring.
Well, it's pretty much as was forecast. Barcelona will attack. Mourinho's team will condense and absorb and try to spring the odd counter-attack with a fleet-footed Ozil and Di Maria, and of course Cristiano Ronaldo. Piqué. Xavi. Busquets. Not such a measured pass from Busquets. There he goes. Cristiano Ronaldo. He's drawn Puyol from his century post. A quadruple step over from Cristiano Ronaldo. And he loses Puyol, puts the cross in. Falls for Di Maria. A drop of the shoulder from the Argentinian. Strong block. And Real's first attack of the evening comes to little.
It's a slightly different shape from Real Madrid. Ronaldo started out wide on the right. Di Maria wide on the left. Ronaldo in recent matches. And Gonzalo Higuain has been playing down the centre of the pitch, centre of attack. And I think that's part of the defensive solution for Jose Mourinho, to play Ronaldo wide, Angel Di Maria wide on the other side, try and stop the Barcelona fullbacks coming forward as much as they normally do.
Piqué, little layoff from Pedro to Xavi, to Pedro. Xavi to Alves. Lionel Messi. Strong-arm tactics from Barcelona. Alves stopped by Marcelo. Messi picks up. Football being played at breakneck speed by Barcelona. Pedro. Alves. Got the ball through. Messi's onside, perfectly timed. Lays it inside. Pepe's having a very good game at centre-half for Real Madrid.
Yeah, he read that pass from Messi really well. And Messi's movement off the ball. From a standing start, he changes pace, loses anyone who's anywhere near marking him. Can find space in the most congested of areas.
Xavi controlling his manner. Messi caressing the ball to Iniesta. He has Villarreal outside. Oh, plays it inside. Great tackle, but no, he's finished off by Xavi. Not the greatest goal you're ever going to see, but a mightily important goal for Barcelona. A huge slice of luck gives Barcelona the lead.
It is a slightly lucky goal, Rob, but to see Xavi that far advanced up the pitch and broke the offside trap. He was fortunate, he was alert with the finish. But Real Madrid were defending deep. Talk of Barcelona keeping it low-key this week. You can see the reaction from the players there when Xavi scored, the delight that they can open the scoring. Iniesta, slide rule pass. Xavi just in an onside position. He gets lucky with the first touch, but he's got the awareness. He's got the ability there to beat Casillas with a deft little flick with his right foot. Opens the scoring for Barcelona. Xavi in the centre-forward position.
Ballet-like balance from Xavi. That was magical. Now, what do Mourinho's team have about them? They've only been behind in one game this season. That was against Hercules, but as we know, they remain unbeaten. A special one braves the rain. It was hyped up, his return to the Camp Nou. We were expecting a pig's head or something like that to be thrown onto the field. All animal body parts were confiscated before the game. But when Mourinho did come out, the reception was lukewarm for the former linguist. Messi, side down. Oh no! Referee said that Xabi Alonso called him fairly. Benzema. Cristiano Ronaldo. Great ball inside. Ozil. Di Maria spots the gap. Big save by Valdez. I guess he's not hurting now.
That's a big save. So soon after Barcelona have opened the scoring. Good work here from Angel Di Maria. Deflection off of Dani Alves as well. See Xabi Alonso there. I think he gets enough of the ball with the tackle with Messi. Real Madrid trying to fight back.
Well, that was a test of the shoulder injury for Valdez, a test that he's passed with flying colours. Ozil, the Clasico debutant, puts in the corner. There's Barcelona's only debutant trying to run out. No foul again. The referee has shown his style. He's letting everything go.
Well, I think it helps us, Rob, as well. With the enjoyment of the game, if he can keep it flowing. And of course, if there are any serious challenges, bad fouls, he has to deal with that.
That's fractionally offside against David Villa. And the only man making his Clasico debut tonight for Barcelona. Pepe. Iker Casillas. Alves to Busquets. Barca bossing the game in these early stages. Real Madrid can't get a kick. Lionel Messi has been a bit part player so far. Caressing the ball to David Villa, past one. Runs into a bit of a cul-de-sac. Comes backwards through Busquets. Iniesta tries to play the 1-2 off the defender. And this is what we expect from Real Madrid. Quick counter-attacking. There was a foul off the ball there. Again, good advantage given as it's at the feet of Cristiano Ronaldo. You never quite know what's going to happen. A top pass by him. That could have been a very embarrassing own goal by Abidal. And another important save by Valdez. He had to put his hand in the way of that, Jerry.
Well, he's had to, and Real Madrid look really dangerous on the counter-attack, Rob. It's the pattern of the game that we expected. An important touch from Abidal. Valdez flicks it round the post for a corner.
Interestingly, Barcelona don't bring everybody back. They've left 3 out of the penalty area here. And as Ramos climbs high, leading with the arms.
I think Barcelona, Rob, are having far too easy possession in the attacking third of the pitch, though, and something that Jose Mourinho should be concerned about. But when they break on the counter-attack, like Ronaldo, Di Maria, Benzema, Mesut Ozil, they do look a threat.
David Villa. To Abidal. Never available Xavi. Iniesta. They could be the two rivals for the world and European Player of the Year. This man, Lionel Messi, thinks that one of the Spanish World Cup winners will get it this year.
Well, they're stretching the Real Madrid back four, Rob, and they're trying to open up a gap between Carvalho and Pepe. They've had so many chances now, and they're really trying to do it, trying to put that little through ball through between the two centre-forwards for an angle run from an attacking player. I'm sure that's something Guardiola has looked at, studied in his preparations to play against Real Madrid.
Just a point separating the two teams. Real Madrid unbeaten under Jose Mourinho. Barcelona a point behind them. They've won their last 6 league games in a row. They've scored at least 3 goals in their last 5 matches. They are the entertainers. There's the biggest of the lot, Lionel Messi. Busquets. Iniesta. Must be said, Real Madrid seem content to allow Barcelona possession of the ball. They'll have come here with a plan. Despite that early goal, they'll be intent on sticking to it. They always knew there'd be an early bluster from Barca. Busquets. He's got the place in midfield tonight ahead of Mascherano. They've been sharing duties. Clearly, he's ahead in the pecking order of the Argentinian national captain.
I think he fully understands that role, Robert, playing in front of Puyol and Piqué. He drops in an awful lot as well and plays between the two central defenders when both of the Barcelona fullbacks push on an attack. He's got a good understanding of the game, a player only 22 years of age.
Iniesta, every Barcelona pass being greeted by an Ole. Messi. Any player who likes to take more than one touch. Pedro. Xavi has it. It's a foul off the ball by Marcelo, acknowledged by the referee. Barca continue through David Villa, toe-to-toe with Ramos. Gets the cross in! 2-0 Barcelona! A flying Pedro! Jose's not smiling now.
Well, you have to just admire that football there. It was Ole after Ole. About 25 passes. And again, Real Madrid didn't make a tackle. They've got to get more physical. They've got to confront the blue and red shirts of Barcelona. They're getting back in position, getting back behind the ball. But it's far too easy for Barcelona in the attacking third of the pitch. They're stretching the Real Madrid back four. They're getting runners from deep, runners from wide positions. Real Madrid just can't cope at the moment. You see the ball switched out wide to David Villa. He's taking on Ramos. He's only going to try and get to the byline, drive it across the 6-yard box. And Pedro, great play from the opposite winger, comes in field, cuts inside, and is there on hand to tap him from just a yard out.
Well, they need a quick response here, Real Madrid. They may get it from Ozil, who tries a backflip. That will not go down well with the Madristas. Their team losing 2-0, less than 20 minutes gone. Busquets to Iniesta. Oh, great ball through. Ooh, it's good and offside. That was a reflex reaction from the referee's assistant, accepted by David Villa.
I have to say, Rob, the football watch at the moment is absolutely immense. We're watching a really special team here.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Yep. But again, too much time for the Barcelona midfield players to try and find the pass. And they can find the pass, by the way.
Time for Real Madrid to dig deep. Come out of their defensive shells. They've got to change their style of play now. It's interesting watching the body language on the touchline. Guardiola's making every tackle, contesting every decision. Mourinho stands there, silent, hands in pocket. Look at the attempts, 5 attempts at goal so far for Barcelona, just the one for Real Madrid. Important start, his top left-hand corner of the screen. 2-0 Barça. Cleverly disguised pass by Xabi Alonso to Benzema. Would love to establish himself tonight. Benzema with a cross, comes shot.
I think he's crossing this towards the far post, Rob. He did well to work himself some space, nice and bright from the set piece. Doesn't trouble the Barcelona defence there. But psychologically, with Barca having won the last 4 Clásicos, going ahead so early, 1-0, now 2-0. We know there's 4 debutants tonight for Real Madrid in the Clásico matches, but there's enough players here that have been on the receiving end of those last 4 defeats. Mentally, they're going to find it hard to find a way back. Barcelona absolutely dominant at the moment.
Messi, Pepe stretches again, falls kindly to Iniesta, scrambled away by Iker Casillas. Real Madrid are rattled. Cristiano Ronaldo. Well, it's quite fitting that it's Xavi and Pedro who scored the goals. Xavi, for so many years, the unsung hero here. Pedro, who scored 23 goals last year, always scores in the big events, scored in every competition that he played in for Barca last season. He doesn't get the plaudits. Now we have an off-the-ball incident here. The referee's had to stop play in the centre circle. And there's a bit of a brawl going on.
We thought there would be an edge to the game, didn't we, Rob? But there's been 1 or 2 tackles. But nothing untoward as yet. I'm certainly sure that not only Jose Mourinho but the Real Madrid players will start to get frustrated.
Show of petulance from Cristiano Ronaldo and his fellow countryman Mourinho also moaning. Abidal. Oh, look at this football, it's sublime. And they're not just siding apart any team, they're siding apart Real Madrid.
We saw them score 8 last week, didn't we, against Almeria? 2 before the 20-minute spell in this match. As you quite rightly said, well, not against anybody, against a Real Madrid team that are undefeated this season.
Mourinho has never won as a coach at the Camp Nou. Pedro, scorer of the second goal, with time and thinking space. Rounds Marcelo, puts in yet another cross. And he had to be knocked out of play by Ramos, who's getting little support. There's one almighty inquest going on down there amongst the Real Madrid defenders as well.
It's a really shaky back four at the moment, Rob. The full-backs can't contend with the wingers. The 2 central defenders are struggling to pick up forward runners coming from deep.
Taken short. Real caught napping once more. Alves flips it over the top. It's carnival football at the moment from Barca.
I did wonder, Rob, before the game whether Barcelona would still have their massive amount of possession that they have almost against every other team. And I thought Real Madrid tonight would have enjoyed a fair share of the possession. But it's no different. Barcelona playing no different tonight than they do against any other team in the division, in the league. Real Madrid just can't keep the ball, can't keep possession, can't mount any serious attacks to the Barcelona defence.
Villa, blocked by Pepe, the one player who can hold his head up high at the moment. He's been overworked. Xabi Alonso. Miscontrolling. Mourinho must wish the referee would blow for half-time now so he can lay into his players.
He has made the slight change, just Ronaldo and Angel Di Maria swapping wings. Nothing that's changed the shape of the team.
Messi. And he hasn't taken a grip of the game yet. Xavi. Pedro. Alves bombing ahead of him. Played the ball too early and Carvalho walks it out of defence. Kedira. Casillas is resigned to just lumping it over the halfway line. Puyol, he'll have enjoyed that header against the old enemy. Ronaldo. Very poor pass from Cristiano Ronaldo. Messi. Alves, Xavi. Benzema is suffering with a bit of a back injury on the halfway line. They don't want to be carrying anybody, Real Madrid. It's all hands to the pump at the moment.
It is, and they're really getting the run-around rather than as Barcelona keep possession as they did for that second goal. But they're not only keeping possession, they're playing with purpose as well. They're getting the ball forward quickly, keeping it on the ground, the movement off the ball. It's absolutely fantastic. The technique we expect from Barcelona.
We've seen them do this to some lesser teams in the Champions League, Panathinaikos and Rubin Kazan and Copenhagen. But tonight, they're mesmerising Madrid. It's a mismatch at the moment, that's onside. Pedro's there before Casillas. Another scare.
Well, Casillas is remonstrating with the assistant referee, but I think he needs to remonstrate with one or two of his defenders. They're just not tracking runs. They're trying to play offside. Hasn't worked on a couple of occasions now. They got away with that one, but they can't keep playing in this manner at the back. They have to defend properly, track runners, and try and put a stop to the Barcelona attacking play.
Well, they've had most of the possession, Barcelona. We all know that. Let's give you the statistics on that at the moment. 72% in the possession to Barca. I think we've been generous to Real Madrid with a 28%.
Yeah, they have at times been bright on the counter-attack. You expect, because of the reputation of the players, when you see Benzema, Ronaldo, Di Maria running with the ball, you expect something to happen. But Barcelona work so hard off the ball to win the ball back. They just enjoy having possession of the football.
Well, don't discount any Jose Mourinho side. Well, they've been torn apart by Barcelona at the moment. Being taught a footballing lesson. Messi. Busquets. A backflip from Busquets. Messi. Xavi. Alves. Some Real Madrid legs getting very tired down there in the rain in Catalonia. Alves with a cross. Carvalho intercepts. Even Iker Casillas looks speechless.
Again, it's another supply of a cross from out wide. Be it Pedro or Dani Alves on the right, David Villa or Abidal on the left.
Great tackle by Puyol, the warrior, the captain. Only his second ever appearance was against Real Madrid back in '99. Came on in the 32nd minute of that match. Now a veteran of over 20 games against his old rivals. Scored a goal in the 6-2 a couple of years ago.
Certainly plenty of intent on that challenge, wasn't there? From Ronaldo. He'll do his utmost to make sure his team do keep the clean sheet.
Abidal to Piqué. This game, of course, being played on a Monday night because they had elections in Catalonia yesterday. And the result that anybody wanted to know was not from the elections, but the result of this Grand Clasico. Well, Real stay top, which is looking unlikely. will Barcelona take over yet again, something they tend to do every year.
They just have so much trust in each other with the possession of the ball, Rob, that if Xavi is marked heavily, his teammates will still pass the ball to him. Likewise with Iniesta, Pedro, David Villa. Now responds being put under pressure by the ball. Here we see David Villa against Ramos. He's going to drive to the byline. It's not the greatest defending from Ramos. Casillas gets a slight touch. Pedro on hand, gets across the defender at the far post for the second goal for Barcelona.
And Cristiano Ronaldo is losing his cool, and he's dragged out of a situation by the referee, Raul Gonzalez. He's managed to draw the wrath of the whole Barcelona team. Even Victor Valdés, who's rushed 50 yards to say his bit to Cristiano Ronaldo. Valdés is in danger of getting sent off here. He's gone absolutely berserk.
The goalkeeper's got no right to be in that area of the pitch. It's got nothing to do with him. He should keep out of it. Ill discipline could cost Barcelona.
Remember Valdés getting into an incident with Jose Mourinho. Now this is... that's what it's all about. Guardiola would have gone down, but he didn't want to dirty that very expensive coat.
It's much ado about nothing, isn't it?
A petulant push.
He's frustrated. He's been chasing the ball around. This season in particular, he's used to having possession of the ball, not having to do too much defensive work. But he's working hard tonight for his team to try and win the ball back. But Barcelona just knocking it round him and the other white shirts, not just Ronaldo.
And the referee flashing cards. It appears that Valdés was the first to receive a caution, and then Cristiano Ronaldo. Booking for Victor Valdés. He got into a pushing match with Mourinho last year when he was an Inter Milan manager. And Cristiano Ronaldo has to watch his step now, having also been booked.
Listen, Rob, it hasn't gone well for Ronaldo and Real Madrid at the moment, but the class and quality of the player, Barcelona will find it hard to contain him for the 90 minutes. It's going to be difficult for them to come back from 2 goals down, but they have the individual talent to create a goal out of nothing and still can find a way back into this game.
Oh, what a busy week we have of football tomorrow night. West Ham against Manchester United. I'm sure the players of both teams will be looking for motivation from this one on Sky Sports 1, HD1 as well. 7:30 start in the Carling Cup. Real staging a bit of a fight back here. It's a foul off the ball, free kick, and we'll have another yellow card to David Villa.
There was a foul by David Villa on Semi Khedira. Again, another example of the work ethic from the Barcelona players. Training leg just catches Khedira. 2-0 ahead. David Villa doing more than his fair share. Chasing back, trying to win possession of the ball.
Well, David Villa does have a bit of a hot head. He was sent off earlier in this season against Athletic Bilbao. Tends to get a red card a season. Now, you can't see from your pictures at home, but it's teeming down in the Camp Nou. Ball will be very difficult for Valdés to handle if Ronaldo can first of all get it around that 8-man wall. Cristiano Ronaldo poses, draws the wrath of the supporters and just cuts it just wide. He felt there'd been a save. He'd like to give Valdez some credit for that.
And it's the free kick known as the tomahawk, isn't it, here in Spain now?
Didn't take a touch from anybody, did it?
It didn't. It came close to touching Busquets, but it didn't.
Ozil's corner is a poor one. It falls to Lionel Messi. He's been dormant for most of the first half, Messi. That's when he's at his most dangerous. Pepe tries to wrap his arm around him and can't stop him. Now there will be a yellow card. There were extra defenders after Pepe. One would argue with Lionel Messi that it was maybe an obvious goal-scoring opportunity, but it's got to be a yellow.
He's so persistent in trying to stay on his feet, isn't he? He evades tackles, they barge him, they knock him. He doesn't go to ground. He's got wonderful balance. But the right decision from the referee there is he's clearly fouled by Pepe. Not once, but twice.
It was hardly a rugby tackle, it was more a tackle, wasn't it? We've had a rash 3 minutes. 4 yellow cards in the space of 3 minutes. Now, David Villa is offside. He's falling out with the referee. It's the only day that somebody does something foolish.
Yes, it does. It gives it an edge to the game, doesn't it? They're 2-0 ahead. David Villa with a bit more concentration there. Could have beat the offside trap there.
Benzema. Ball flown to Marcelo. Squeezes it to Di Maria. Puts his weight into the cross. And strong defending from Puyol. Had it gone out for a goal kick. Sorry, corner kick, Puyol.
Here's Real Madrid trying to find a way to get that player into the game, Mesut Ozil. Been in sensational form from Real Madrid this season. We haven't seen enough of him tonight in this game.
They're not getting it past the first man at the near post with their corners, Real Madrid. Pepe flies in. Got tackled by him. Angel Di Maria. Di Maria's cross. There's a spare man at the far post, but Abidal rises high. There. Kicks it to safety. Well, this is the Gran Clasico, El Derby they call it in Spain. That's the Midlands Derby, Wednesday night, Birmingham City against Aston Villa, 7:30 start, Sky Sports 1 HD1 in the Carling Cup Live. Benzema tries to thread it through, can't be offside, it came off a Barca defender, and there's a cry for a penalty. Ronaldo, having been booked a few minutes ago, can't argue. That smile is painted on his face, it's not a real one. He had a case, didn't he? He had a very good case.
Well, I'm not so sure, Rob. I think Valdez does get a touch of the ball. And I think Ronaldo is going to ground, hoping Valdez is going to touch him. On the fall down, he does make contact with the goalkeeper.
I think Valdez quite enjoyed wrapping his legs around Cristiano Ronaldo after the ball had been toe poked out of play.
Certainly a risk he should be taking.
Messi. To Xavi. Alves, disguised pass. Look one way, passed it the other. Doesn't get overconfident though. Xavi. Busquets. Quick-footed football. As we approach the final 5 minutes of the first half, Real Madrid are beginning to find their feet. Puyol. The people of Catalonia are thriving on this. For many years they felt they were the oppressed under the Franco regime, and football was the best way of expressing their intentions. Now their footballers are ensuring that they're ruling Spain. Marcelo, Di Maria. Just nothing is working for Real Madrid.
No, we've got to stick with it. Just wondering whether Jose Mourinho rules the decision not to play the extra midfield player.
Lionel Messi gets into his stride and lets off one of his little sticks of dynamite.
It's 9 consecutive games he's scored goals in. He's had a couple of decent attempts tonight. Again, working his magic. Predominantly all left foot there. Gets the shot in from distance, can't hit the target on this occasion. Look at the balance and the skill, the touch.
Benzema drifts inside. This is Ozil. Marcelo. Xabi Alonso hardly had a touch of the ball tonight. It's been Xavi, not Xavi, who's been dictating the pace of the play. Alves.
You mustn't forget, Rob, this Real Madrid team is very new. The amount of money they've spent in the last 2 years in pursuit of this Barcelona team makes the Clásico bigger and bigger every season. But young players, as you said, 4 debutants in the team this year, new signings, a whole host of new signings last year. You're going to have to stick with it. It's a young team, as Jose Mourinho said, not experienced.
Messi has stolen the ball. He doesn't have support. He might have to go solo. He's drawn Pepe, but what a brilliant tackle that was by Pepe.
It's a daunting prospect there for Pepe, wasn't it? 1-on-1 against Lionel Messi. But he stood up well, timed his tackle to perfection.
3 minutes remain in the first half. Real Madrid could score a goal now. It certainly changed the mindset. Ronaldo fighting off Alves, gets the cross in, but there's a second defender there in the shape of Piqué.
And we see Messi stole the ball off of Ramos. It's bearing down on goal. Time to perfection, the challenge for Pepe there. But it had to be.
Ozil's corner, Arriba away is the cry from Valdez. Alonso. Ozil volleys the ball into the area. Puyol intercepts, there's an offside anyway.
David Villa there again, threatening that rather high line of Real Madrid defence are holding, running from deep.
Di Maria works his way through. He just hasn't been able to get into the flow of things. The referee telling him to get onto his feet as well. Cristiano Ronaldo. No, that was at best speculative. It was quite interesting before the game, Terry, because Mourinho was saying that he wasn't too happy with the appointment of Iturralde Gonzalez. Guardiola was very happy, ever the statesman. But it's something like the referee could be blamed for this Real Madrid performance. Oh, Messi goes down off the ball there. Now, he's not one to take a dive, but there was a connection with Carvalho, and this is a big call for the referee.
I'm not sure why Carvalho got involved with Messi. He made a good tackle. It wasn't a dive from Messi, it was a fair challenge from Carvalho, who then accused Messi of diving.
Well, the referee is telling Messi to get onto his feet. And he shows the yellow card to the Barcelona man. Well, Messi has accepted it.
You can see the initial challenge from Carvalho. It's a good challenge. No complaints from Messi. But Carvalho was remonstrating with the referee that Messi had dived. There's an elbow there from Carvalho. Might not have been the most forceful elbow, but it was an elbow. And I think Carvalho can count himself fortunate. The referee didn't see. I don't think he's seen that, Rob. Did he see Messi go to ground and he's guessed?
The thing is, Terry, from the first angle, it looked nothing. From the second angle, it did look like a forearm or back arm across his face, didn't it?
And Messi got booked.
Well, he did rather play act. It's not in Messi's makeup to go down like that either. Iniesta. Villa waits for the pass. That's a poor pass by Iniesta.
I think the passing in the latter stages of the first half, the quality has just gone down slightly from Barcelona. They had good opportunities to play, attacking players in. Perhaps the weight of the pass hasn't been right, the accuracy of the pass hasn't been right. But there's still plenty left in this game, Rob. Real Madrid certainly not out of it. It's going to be difficult.
Barsza to Xabi Alonso. It's the creative department of Real Madrid which has been very shy in the opening 46.5 minutes of this game. Iniesta. David Villa. Back to Puyol. Remember that Barcelona went 21 years without defeat against Real Madrid at the Camp Nou. They've won the last two here, and they're in a very good position in the first half. Well, it's living up to the expectations, the most eagerly anticipated game of football in Europe. It's Barcelona who are bossing it. Shows of petulance from Cristiano Ronaldo, one of 5 players booked in the first half, both he and Lionel Messi. Their names are in the book, though their names are not on the score sheet. The scorers in the first half, Xavi and Pedro. Now, Jose Mourinho has these wonderful powers of motivation. In the recess, he's really going to have to use them. All of the smiles are on the faces of the people of Catalonia so far. At the Camp Nou, it's 2-0, Barcelona. Welcome back to the Camp Nou. Barcelona against Real Madrid, says it all. Now, Jose Mourinho gave a short team talk. His players were sent out early for the second half. He was sitting on the bench as well, and he's taken action at half-time. Lassana Diarra is coming on. Mesut Ozil is the player who's going to be sacrificed for the second half.
I think it's a mission there from Jose Mourinho that he probably did get the wrong team selection at the start of the game. As I said, you cannot write Real Madrid off. One goal can completely change this match, change the mentality of the team in white shirts, but can Barcelona dominate possession again, as they did in their first 30 minutes, with devastating effect.
Well, Barcelona have bossed the first half. They've had the steamroller effect on Real Madrid, who've been chasing around. A lot of petulant little arguments going on. Cristiano Ronaldo, one of 5 players on their final warning, having been cautioned. It's the game that's had everything. Been played on a freezing cold November's night here in Catalonia. Well, Jose Mourinho has pulled off some great victories in the past. Tonight he needs to pull off a great recovery.
It would be a hell of a turnaround if they can get back into the game. As I said, 2-0 can be a dangerous lead. You don't want to be complacent. If Real Madrid get the next goal, I believe they can get back and get the equaliser. I'm sure Guardiola has been telling his players at half-time to keep a calm head. That's what they did so well in the first 30 minutes. They didn't get wrapped up in the occasion. They played their football as they do against any other team. And they certainly got the end result for them.
Messi. to Alves, flip over the top, David Villa. For the umpteenth time, it seems tonight has gone a fraction too early.
If you can just be a bit more selective on those, on the timing of the runs forward from David Villa. There's a big gap between the defenders there. He's clearly offside, Pedro as well.
Ronaldo plays it short to Benzema. Marcelo attacks for the first time in the game. Marcelo half blocked by Alves, and Abidal chests it back in his own 6-yard box to Valdez, which maybe illustrates the confidence flowing through the Barcelona veins.
Yep, they can be confident, but they mustn't be complacent. Guardiola would have urged his players, and I'm sure Carlos Puyol as well would have done everything in their power to keep a clean sheet. Don't let Real Madrid back in it.
There's Lionel Messi taking on all comers right across the 18-yard box. Loose ball in the area. Pepe flies in. Comes to David Villa. Tremendous stop. Real Madrid having to throw bodies in the way as Barcelona continue in the second half what they started in the first. Oh, there was a push in there apparently. The referee has given a free kick to Real Madrid. Mighty relief in the capital.
I think it's Pedro throwing his weight around in the 18-yard box there. The reason why that goal was disallowed. But a superb run from Messi.
Iniesta runs out of space. He's got a free kick there off Carrera.
He states in the obvious, wanted to say that. I think Messi carries the goal threat. You see Pedro there, just leaning in towards Pepe.
Alves to Xavi. They shuffle the ball around at breakneck speed. Messi, little pirouette. Xavi. An overcooked cross. Well, they are great, but they're also human as well, Barcelona.
Yeah, and the reason they had success in the first half, when they got in those wide positions, they drove to the byline. They cut really good crosses right across the 6-yard box. As for the Pedro's goal, the second goal for Barcelona, they have to try and do that. They can't just sling high crosses into the box. Carvalho and Pepe will win those easily.
One ball is played toward David Villa. Barcelona very sportingly slowed the play down there because Lassana Diarra appeared to have fallen heavily on his arm. Now they quicken the pace, and here is Diarra, the warrior who's been sent on for the second half. Well, that was the hand injury, and that was the apology from Xavi. Messi playing a more central role in the second half. That's allowing Marcelo to break free. There's little that Jose Mourinho can do if his players can't pass over 12 yards.
It was a good opportunity for them, and a little bit of a counter-attack there. I'm sure Lassana Diarra will try and stiffen things up in midfield. In 5 minutes of this half, he's been shadowing Xavi in particular. It's not an easy task, is it?
Abidal. Iniesta. Lassana Diarra clatters into him. Carrera. Pepe. There's a few in white shirts out there who appear to be in hiding.
I said, Rob, it's mentally it's tough when you haven't had much possession. They've been used to.
Alonso flies into his old friend Sergi Busquets, of course, World Cup winning colleagues. And they had a big handshake and a pat on the back as they came out for the game before, but old pal's acts are forgotten as Alonso leaves his mark on his old mate.
By rights, Rob, they should be playing 20 yards apart. They should never be near making a tackle against each other. Both anchoring their midfield in front of their back four. Xabi Alonso trying to stimulate his teammates, trying to ensure that they don't give up, that they still have that belief they can get back into the game.
That was the 6th yellow card of the game. Alves to Pedro. Xavi. Lionel Messi. Head down, drawing defenders, threading it through to Xavi, could save! That's the side of the net and not the back of the net. That would have been good night Real Madrid.
Yeah, well, when they were making that run across midfield there was 3 or 4 different options on that Barcelona could have used. You know, sometimes in those positions you're looking for one option. And yes, there was here wide on the left. Messi's running through there. He spots Xavi again, making that forward run from midfield. There's 2 opportunities, can't get the 3rd goal, which will kill the game off.
As I said in that replay, Kadira is trying a crazy shot from the touchline. A special one is a beating one at the moment.
Yep, but not finished yet. As I said, Roberts, you cannot write Real Madrid off with players like Ronaldo and Xabi Alonso. They have too much pride, too much ability to give up. They know one goal can get them back in the game. The mood of the game can change dramatically if Real Madrid get the next goal.
I'm sure that's something that Guardiola's impressed upon his players during the break. As you said, Terry, in the first half, no room for complacency because you will be punished, even though Real Madrid are a little off colour tonight. Just takes a second to inch their way back into the game.
Messi there with the through ball to Xavi. Just couldn't get the angle right in the finish. Hits it into the side netting. Mourinho must be finding this difficult. It's not been often in the last, 10 years that he's been on the receiving end of a team that's dominated possession, that's creating chances, giving his defenders a real run around.
Marcelo to Diarra. He runs into trouble. Xavi. Benzema wins it back. Diarra has been a busy boy since coming on. Alonso. But Ramos can't steady it. Abidal. Busquets back. A bit of afters, but a handshake between Diarra and Sergi Busquets. Xavi. Busquets to Iniesta, the Spanish World Cup midfield. Here's the man who won the World Cup, Iniesta, threading it through. Marcelo had to stretch. Pedro would have been onside. Marcelo hits it long. They're just not finding Cristiano Ronaldo. Alves. The wheel's gone too early again, so he has to hold his pass. Now Messi. Drifting, driving. David Villa. 3-0. Game over. Another typical Barcelona goal. Another typical Barcelona performance. But the team they're ripping apart tonight are Real Madrid.
It's a great partnership that's really blossoming now from Lionel Messi and David Villa. And again, far too much time afforded to the Barcelona attacking players without Real Madrid closing them down. They're relying, weren't they, again on trying to use an offside trap. But David Villa had time to run across the line, hold his run, right to the perfect moment.
Well, they're arguing Real Madrid that Villa was leaning offside. They're still arguing that he was offside. He wasn't waiting around.
No, I'm fully in the strikers' union, and I think the benefit should go to the attacking player. Wonderful first touch to take it away from the defender. Head down, gets the technique right, drives it towards the far post. Goal scorer's instinct, top striker.
Well, a casualty of that move was Pedro Rodriguez, who's been receiving treatment since the goal was scored. Iker Casillas, I believe, has been cautioned for his argument with the referee afterwards. Yellow card for the Real Madrid captain. So we'll make that now. 7 bookings. Both goalkeepers have been booked. It's that kind of game. Cristiano Ronaldo. Puts in the cross. Benzema came early. Alves, aware of his bearings, just helps it out.
See the frustration there on Iker Casillas. Barcelona have been absolutely awesome tonight. Wonderful in possession. As you said, we mentioned earlier, they got 8 goals last week against Almeria, but this is 3 stunning goals against Real Madrid, unbeaten this season.
Benzema to Lassana Diarra. One back by Xavi. Now Busquets. Referee does well. Keeps it moving. It's moving very smoothly with Lionel Messi. Messi inside. Villa. Brilliant run by Villa. Can he finish it off? He can! It's 4 to Barcelona! Where did the goal stop?
Well, it's official now, Robbie, so turning into a rout. They just love that pass inside the fullback. The easy option is to give it to the wide player's feet and let him run at the defender. But they're so aware that the wide players will look to run across and get the pass, receive the pass inside the fullback. And essentially then it becomes a one-on-one versus the goalkeeper, and David Villa doesn't miss. A superb goal. This team are really, really special.
Now they look up to the heavens, Real Madrid. Gobsmacked. Where will it stop? Humiliation for Jose Mourinho and his troops.
You see that wonderful pass from Messi, but it's the angle of the pass, it's the movement of David Villa, and of course, let's not forget the finish. Outside of the right foot, underneath the advancing Casillas. Drops his shoulder, jinks past 2 defenders.
Hold on, there's a back pass there, and Iker Casillas has to come off his line. And Messi is given offside. It's Sunday League defending from Real Madrid.
It is, Rob. They're on the ropes. This season, they've dominated all the games they've played in. And I must admit, I haven't been convinced this season about Real Madrid. I was waiting for a real big test. This was their test tonight. And at the moment, you have to say they're failing it miserably.
Well, Mourinho is going to bring on an extra defender in Arbeloa. It's damage limitation for Real Madrid. They've lost their shape, they've lost their will. Certainly they've lost their motivation. Marcelo, look at the tackle from Puyol. He enjoyed that, but he's actually injured himself in the doing.
Yep, he'll still be giving 100% in every challenge, every tackle. Make sure he's tracking forward runs from white shirts to make sure his team keep that clean sheet. He won't be complacent. He leads by example. Super captain.
Well, time for change. Interestingly, it's Marcelo, the left-back, who's going off. And going to be Arbeloa who's coming on. Is that a reflection on Marcelo's performance?
It's probably something Marcelo's done in the last 5 minutes, Rob. And it looks like a reaction to the 2 goals that have just gone in.
Or not done. There have been 2 goals in the last 5 minutes. Alonso steps over the ball. Long, hopeful shot. Alves watches it go wide.
As we mentioned earlier, Rob, this is a young Real Madrid team. A lot of players in their early 20s. But they do have some catching up to do against Barcelona. It's been a long time since Jose Mourinho, manager of Porto, Chelsea, Inter Milan. It's been success all along the way. It's been a long time since he's been suffering, like most managers do, from time to time in a game like this.
Lionel Messi drives inside again. And the referee brings it back for the first of a succession of fouls on the little Argentinian. Busquets. Xavi. David Villa. Looking for a hat-trick in his Clásico debut. The last time that Barcelona managed to score 4 goals against Real Madrid at the Camp Nou was the 93-94 season, and Romario scored a hat-trick that night.
Villa's got plenty of time to do it. He's got the motivation to go on and do it. The result is not going to be in doubt, but it's whether Barcelona really want to turn on the style. go on and score more goals.
Busquets. Xavi. The hat-trick hunting David Villa. Abidal. We have to put into context what a great performance this is from Barcelona. What a great team we're watching. Players at the peak of their power. Real Madrid have lost only one of their last 36 matches. That was against Barcelona. The last time they were beaten, it was against Barcelona. They had record stats last year, Real Madrid. Record number of points, the best ever away wins, their most ever away goals. But they were still second best to Barcelona.
Well, Pellegrini was a casualty due to that, so close last season. And I think he did well last year, Pellegrini. I think we have to acknowledge that Barcelona are streets ahead of Real Madrid at the moment.
They scored 8 against Almeria. They're looking for their 5th as Messi miscontrols, allowing Pepe a sight of the ball. Slices it into the ground, much to their amusement.
I think, in fairness to Pepe, I think he's had a decent game tonight. Pedro with a back heel. Pepe's made some telling challenges. He's been aggressive when it's been... the need has been there to be aggressive. Too many of his teammates, I think, in defence tonight have really struggled against the movement and swift passing of Barcelona.
Messi's coming in for some rough treatment. Not the worst tackle he's going to endure tonight. Free kick taken too quickly as the referee asks Arbeloa to remove some jewellery, I believe. He's a brave man leaving it on that touchline. He's just taken his wedding ring off and left it on the touchline for the referee's assistant to dance over. Abidal. Xavi. The Olays have started again. It is a bit like watching a bullfight at the moment. Barcelona, the Matadors. Real Madrid, the wary bull. Busquets tries the shot from the halfway line, and Casillas had to watch that all of the way. They're trying to humiliate them.
Yeah, that would have offended Casillas, and he didn't want to look as if he was trying too hard. At the last second, perhaps he thought he'd better make a save, at least try and make the effort. But he wouldn't have been too pleased with that from Sergio Busquets.
Busquets would have been taking the biscuit. Iniesta holds off Cadera, leaves Xavi Alonso on the floor. Now it's shuffled to Villa, to Iniesta again. PK. Incredible football. It is just a masterclass.
Some might say they were able to do this at 4-0 up, but they did it at 0-0, Rob. That's the reason they got those 2 goals in the first half, possession play. The second goal was memorable. The percentage of possession in the first half again in the 70%, was it 72% at one stage? It means they've only got to defend for 28% of the game. And that's where Real Madrid have struggled tonight. They haven't had the ball. They haven't been able to supply Ronaldo. Benzema, Higuain has been a miss for Real Madrid, it has to be said. You can see more goals coming for Barcelona.
Well, all of the scorers for Barcelona are Spanish players: Xavi, Pedro, Villa. Real Madrid have invested so heavily over the last couple of years. 81 million last summer. The summer before that, about 260 million. We're talking euros. It's pretty much 1 for 1 at the moment, euros and pounds. 8 of this Barcelona team have come through the club's La Masia, the academy system at the club. Born and bred Barcelona players through their teens. They've learned to play football very much the Cruyff way. Guardiola was a disciple of Cruyff. What a legacy it is. I think it could be argued they are now better than the dream team.
Just watching the back four of Real Madrid, they're trying to play the offside track, all in different positions of the pitch.
Abidal to Xavi. Just holds off, waiting for the right pass, the safe pass. Abidal to Iniesta. Now they quicken the pace. Lionel Messi. Abidal to Messi. To Xavi. You're lost for words. It's hard not to repeat yourself for the wonderment of the football. It's hard not to be critical of Real Madrid, but they're just sparring partners at the moment, aren't they?
It is, and it's all one-touch and two-touch stuff. Moving it off the ball, playing little triangles between 2 and 3 players. You're caught in the middle of a little triangle between Xavi, Iniesta and Messi. You've got no chance.
Javára.
But it's great pressure, Rob. That's what forced Real Madrid into giving away possession again. 4-0 up Barcelona. As soon as they lost it, 3 or 4 players all worked hard to try and put Real Madrid player under pressure and force them to give the ball back to them.
Barcelona has scored 17 goals in their last 4 home games. 12 goals in the last 2 La Liga matches. Messi, little back flick from Dani Alves, the number 2, the right back who's currently playing centre forward.
Yeah, he's getting busy now, Robert. 4-0 up, he wants to get on the goal sheet. But it certainly wouldn't be unusual for him.
Real play a high line. Barca go back to go forwards. Abidal. They make it look so simple. Control, pass, back flick, pass. It's frighteningly good.
If you find anybody apart from a Real Madrid supporter not to enjoy watching this Barcelona team play the way they do tonight, yeah, they're enjoying it because they've done the hard work. They're in a commanding, a winning position.
Our words are supposed to complement the pictures. It's impossible to complement the way Barcelona are playing. Arbla to Benzema. Ronaldo again frustratingly doesn't get a pass at the ball. Busquets. Veer lets it go. A little body swerve. Abidal to Veer. Veer continues. He wants his name in lights. He wants to write his own piece of history and get his hat-trick through to Messi, who did get a hat-trick, of course, in his first ever Clásico. Iniesta. Xavi. Real Madrid unwittingly, unwillingly chasing the shadows that are cast by Barcelona, and they're going to be in their shadows as well. Barca going to take control of La Liga again. Be a 2-point lead, but it's a gulf between the teams.
The home supporters really enjoying the possession.
Carvalho, handball. He's got to go. He goes from bad to worse to ridiculous for Real Madrid. Well, has he not just denied an obvious goal-scoring opportunity?
At 4-0 up, perhaps the referee's been lenient. Barcelona players not protesting too much. He was fortunate to get away with that slight elbow towards the face of Messi in the first half. Yes, it is a goal-scoring opportunity.
It's a deliberate handball.
It is. He misjudges the bounce of the ball. Puts his arm out to stop it. Pedro was in on goal. Could have been 1-0 or 0-0. I think you'll see more protests from Barcelona players.
Well, Barça probably shows some professional sympathy to Cavalier, goes flying in with the tackle there, but I think under any other circumstances that had to be a red card, Terry.
Yeah. He's found it particularly difficult tonight, hasn't he, his team? So far this season, Real Madrid haven't had to defend. They haven't played the Sevillas and the Valencias and the Villarreals. This, for me, tonight was their real big first test. I wanted to see how they did defensively, and they've struggled tonight, it has to be said. And neither up against the elite of world-class players. But they don't look organised at the back. Their offside trap hasn't worked.
Ronaldo. Kenny. That was a rash challenge from Ramos. One of those, I think, a little worse than it actually was. Ramos goes over to his Spanish international teammate David Villa and asks a favour and asks him to get straight back up onto his feet to prevent the caution, which is going to come his way.
Slightly disappointed to see Puyol tear across there and trying to get his Spanish teammate in trouble, although he's protecting his Barcelona teammate, David Villa. It's like the worst tackle Ramos has ever made.
A little kick out of it. That's the 9th yellow card of the evening. I'm going to ask Jerry Armstrong, who's sitting alongside me, to translate. I wonder if they're singing "You're going to get sacked in the morning," Jose Mourinho.
They had to put the sprinklers on, didn't they, at the end of the Inter Milan game last season to dampen down the celebrations of Jose Mourinho. I bet he wished he could have put them on tonight after about 20 minutes to try and stop the Barcelona attack. His defence haven't been up to it.
Xavi to Iniesta. Abidal. Villa's misplaced pass. Alonso. Finds Ronaldo. Past one, but not past Busquets. Alves breaks. Perfectly timed. Lionel Messi into his little stride. Blocked by Lassana Diarra. Little delayed fall there from Lionel Messi. Ball is well run by Alves. The referee tells him to continue playing. You've got possession. There's a lunge from Cristiano Ronaldo. That's a lunge from Khedira as well. That'll be the 10th yellow card of the evening.
I'm pretty sure Rob, we're not going to end up with 22 players on the pitch. Messi there, good tackle initially from Lassana Diarra, bumped over by Arbeloa. And Khedira with a late challenge on Andres Iniesta. Probably the closest he's got to the Barcelona midfield player all night.
And Khedira may have to go off the field of play as well because he's got a blood-stained shirt. The referee having a little look at the nick on his shoulder blade. I'm just going to let him carry on for now. Mind you, he could be sweating blood, the amount of running he's done tonight.
Chasing the ball, and it's so difficult for the Real Madrid players. Been used to being on top all season. Right from the first minute, Barcelona kept possession. I said he's another young player, Khedira. Mesut Ozil, only 22. Khedira, 23. Benzema's only 22 years of age. Rob Angel Di Maria, 22 years of age. So it's a young team, and Jose needs a little bit of patience. You see the delight of Pep Guardiola. Kept it low-key this week, wanted his team to do the talking on the pitch. They've done exactly that.
Well, David Villa isn't going to get his hat-trick tonight, but he gets a standing ovation from 97,000 Barcelona supporters. And joining the party is young Bojan. Maybe they're just protecting David Villa for a flurry of games coming up.
It's been a big night for David Villa, slightly overshadowed by Lionel Messi this season. To get 2 goals in your first Clasico
Bojan's on the move. He's onside. Here's his first touch. His second touch he can't make. Pepe stops him in his stride. Good defending by Pepe. Had to have massive powers of recovery then.
He didn't give out. It looked like Bojan lost his footing, didn't it? He was stumbling as he was on the run forward. Full marks again to Pepe, sticking to the task.
Messi. Lovely touch. Bojan. Now he's got his chance. Tremendous save from Iker Casillas. Keeping some pride for Real Madrid.
Some of the Real Madrid defenders are below there, in particular. Gone missing, left his post completely. Messi's on a drought, 77 minutes.
There's another off-the-ball incident there, but it actually was preceded by an offside against Pedro. Another sloppy bit of defending has allowed Messi away here. Messi drives inside, twists and turns, but takes on one defender too many.
Yeah, that was better defending from Arbeloa. Helping out his teammate Carvalho.
From Kadira, who kicks the ball away. There'll be a lot of players inspired by this Barcelona. Go to Osasuna on Saturday night, 7 o'clock on Sky Sports 1 up in Pamplona. They'll be fearing playing them, and Jose Mourinho has to restore his team's confidence for Valencia on Saturday night, 9 o'clock on Sky Sports HD1 as well. Ramos to Diarra. Benzema. Ronaldo makes a move. Ronaldo gets the pass. He's shadowed by Piolo, who's just waiting for the right moment to make the tackle.
Sheer jubilation from the Barcelona players. Right from the first minute, they brought their A game into this game tonight. Frustration for Real Madrid. They've tried to keep going, but really, really difficult for them. We've seen how much work they've got to do now to try and catch up with Barcelona. Back-to-back titles. It's been the 5th Clásico on the trot that Barcelona are going to win.
Herrera. That's it, back off Ronaldo. Little back flick from Benzema. Alves wins the tackle. They're still making the tackles, Barcelona, and trying to prevent Real Madrid getting a consolation goal. Alves gets his body in the way. Benzema was taken down on the edge of the area, and that may be yet another caution. It is. It's Puyol who's in the book now.
Yeah, it's a late challenge, Rob. Hefty old challenge referee. Tried to play the advantage. You see, it's late, it's dangerous.
Heads up. It was the head of PK that was the bravest. Xavi. Messi to Bojan. Pedro.
Another player from the Cantera, the academy. Barcelona there with Bojan, adding to the numbers.
That's 9 then, isn't it? 9 of the 11 out there that come through the Barcelona system. Something like this man PK went away and then came back again.
That's why this team of Barcelona's hasn't been built overnight. Real Madrid are going to have to show patience. They've bought good players at a good age.
Ronaldo. Ramos to Di Maria. Overhit the cross. They just can't get out of Barcelona quick enough, Real Madrid. They've got another 8.5 minutes to endure.
And Di Maria's been in really good form. Shown really good potential that he's going to be a good signing. And I'm sure he will, as I said, they're at a good age. Jose Mourinho's going to have to be patient. The Real Madrid president's going to have to be patient. So it could take some considerable while now for Real Madrid to catch Barcelona.
Well, that is some image, isn't it? The captain of Spain, arms folded, wishing he was somewhere else.
And he's saying it hasn't been a pleasant evening for him. And of course, this win will take Barcelona back to the top of the table.
The last 3 occasions these sides have played, Real Madrid have been ahead of Barcelona in the standings. Barcelona have taken over, taken control, and of course the last 2 seasons gone on to win La Liga. It'll be 5 successes in a row for Barcelona, home and away against Real Madrid. Xavi, Alves, here they go again. Busquets.
4 out of 5 of those, Rob, they haven't scored. Real Madrid as well.
Iniesta, Pedro, Alves. Iker Casillas wastes no time, he clears his lines, but he's given it away to Carlos Puyol, the opposing captain. Abidal. But when they hit Almeria for 8, their record away win in the last La Liga game, Pep Guardiola looked rather embarrassed because he must have thought about holding back. It was one of his old pals that was suffering. There's no holding back tonight. Can't exactly call Jose Mourinho an enemy, but he is his most bitter rival.
I think that's fair analysis, Rob, of the situation between the two. Healthy respect. They certainly don't want to get beaten by each other.
Puyol goes flying in. He's known around here as the man from the mountains, or Tarzan. There's another off-the-ball incident for the referee to adjudicate involving Arbeloa there. Away goes Alves. Pepe. It's probably been man of the match for Barcelona. At least Jose Mourinho tonight is find out who his warriors are.
I still think there's an admission of his mistake in not playing Lassana Diarra from the start of the game, and Gonzalo Higuain was ruled out through injury. I really did think they could have done with the extra midfield player. See Arbeloa there again with a foul on Pedro. Ozil was neither midfield nor in attack. It was probably a luxury that Real Madrid couldn't afford tonight here at the Camp Nou.
Awkward twist of the leg for Pedro. I think there's such a cramp there as well. The physio has been told to stay on the sidelines. Well, it's the derby debut for the new Barcelona president on the left-hand side there, Sandro Rosell. He likes what he's seen. Florentino Perez stuck behind Jose Mourinho, who has said since the early days of his tenure that it is a work in progress. He's not quite back to the drawing board for Real Madrid, but they have an indication of how far to go before they catch up with Barcelona.
Yep, and it also, Rob, this is not tonight the end of the league championship as we saw last season. You know, it was defined over those 2 games. There's still 25 games to go in the league for both of these teams to play. I'm sure Barcelona will have nights where it doesn't all go according to plan. And I shut up on purpose there, Rob, to allow people at home to hear the ovation, the adulation for Xavi. Wonderful goal. A supreme maestro, the grand master of midfield players.
Well, the whole stadium acknowledges another immaculate performance from Xavi. Keita gets a taste of the glory for about 3.5 minutes. And Adriano, the Brazilian, will come on also for his Clásico debut, taking the place of another one of the scorers, Pedro. See again, smart management by Guardiola. He's taken off all of his scorers tonight and allowed them to receive the acknowledgement of the adoring Catalan public.
Going to be back to work as usual for Barcelona and Pep Guardiola. He knows that's a difficult game at the weekend.
Bojan draws Ramos, then lost his own footing and gets a ticking off from the referee. Well, no league is ever won or lost in November, but it's on this day in November last year that Barcelona beat Real Madrid, and then for Real, for the rest of the season, it was catch-up. When it came to the final count on the final day, Real Madrid were 3 points behind Barcelona. Of course, in Spain, I'm sure you all are aware now that if the teams finish level on points at the end of the season, and it goes on the head-to-heads between the two teams. Di Maria. Cristiano Ronaldo, cue the boos. Chase to the corner flag by Puyol. He'll be having nightmares about Carlos Puyol tonight. They're coming out from behind the curtains.
He's found it really difficult to play against Barcelona, whether it's for Manchester United or now Real Madrid. There's 3 games, and I have to say, Rob, in the second half, we barely mentioned him. Never a game goes by, does it, where we're not constantly talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. But had no supply, hasn't been in the game, he's had no impact on the game whatsoever. Probably a long-range effort from a free kick was his sum total. Mentally, it's going to be a problem for him, but he's got the character to overcome it. You've seen his class, he's, along with Messi, the 2 best players in the world. But neither of them have scored tonight. It's the David Villa, it's Xavi, it's Pedro.
Keita. Vidal down the touchline. It's a great early cross from Adriano. Iker Casillas. The only other time he's conceded 4 goals this season was for Spain against Argentina.
His captain, Robbie, looks really cheesed off, doesn't he? I'm not sure that transmits the best emotional feelings possible to his teammates that are chasing the ball all night, having a hard time. I think Pepe has led by example tonight. He's kept going. It's been a real poor display by the back 4 from Real Madrid. They've relied on the offside trap, that hasn't worked.
Vidal. Good bullying defending on Di Maria. We did touch early on in the game that Barcelona had only 1 player who'd not tasted the Clásico experience before, and Real Madrid had a number of debutants in this situation, and it has told.
It has, but I think, in all honesty, Rob, I think the quality has been far better. That's been the difference between the 2 teams. Opening 20-minute spell from Barcelona, absolutely brilliant.
Now they're aiming for their 5th as we're into stoppage time. Bojan's cross, will it be 5? It will! And Adriano joins the party. It's Jeffrey, the substitute, has joined the party. A great goal for another one of the Barcelona boys who's come through the system.
Well, look at the celebrations, Rob, of the players. The despair again of Real Madrid. Incisive attacking play, en masse. Every member of the squad, the coaching department, everybody's there. Piqué holding 5 fingers up. A 5-0 win against Real Madrid. More than the home supporters expected tonight. They expected a much more closer encounter. We can see there a beaten team from Real Madrid tonight. The youngster Jeffren breaks into the box. It's a wonderful cross. Not only is Jeffren on the end of it, another youngster, Bojan. Great cross across the face of the goal. They just can't get there first of all. I think it's Iniesta just misses out. Jeffren gets across Ramos, wraps it up 5-0. Perfect ending for Barcelona.
All that picture of all of the teams celebrating together on the touchline will adorn the club's museum and the press room here, where they've got all of the pictures of the great games over the years. Oh, and another terrible tackle from Carvalho, and it's going to end very ugly, and there's a punch down there, and it's now getting very, very nasty. Well, the referee has sent off Carvalho, and he's got a series of other spats to sort out as well. There's pushing and shoving and arguing. A yellow card to Xavi amid the melee. And the medical men are working one of the Barcelona players as well. It's Lionel Messi who's down, who's apparently flawed. And so the referee saw that. He's seeking advice from his assistants on the talkback. Well, that was the first foul. That was Carvalho's offence. And then Messi and Puyol both went to the floor. That was Messi taken down.
It was Ramos who, I think, takes down Messi. Sure, Bosque won't be pleased to see Spanish team fighting amongst each other. Puyol, Ramos, Xavi, Piqué. But it was a hefty challenge on Messi, the frustration spilling over for the Real Madrid players. And we see the Real Madrid captain, the Spanish captain as well, trying to keep the peace.
Well, Jose Mourinho is absolutely flawed. He said last year, when they lost against Barcelona but still went through in the Champions League, that it was the most beautiful loss of his life. Tonight is certainly the ugliest loss of his life.
And that picture says it all, doesn't it, for Cristiano Ronaldo?
Well, amid that, Ramos was sent off. Carvalho stayed on. Guardiola looks coolness personified as he heads down the tunnel, but I'm sure as he gets into the changing room, he will whoop for delight. Casillas and co can't wait to get out of this stadium quick enough. A 5-goal humiliation. A famous victory for Barcelona. 5 goals tonight, 5 wins in succession against Real Madrid.